Today I want to talk to you about painting people within a scene in a way that integrates them into the scene. I also have a giveaway that's related to it. But first, let me tell you about who won the giveaway of the Advent calendar from Daily December Art Candy. And I, again, listed out the names of the people who had entered, put numbers by the names, and then I did random number generator. And the winner is Diane Vance. And that is at Diane Vance 7072. Congratulations. So if you want to write to me at colortheory@annelivingston.com and give me your address, I will mail it to you. And there are little surprises inside some of the drawers. Okay, so I'm just giving stuff away because I have another giveaway I want to do today. And as I said, it's related to the painting that I'm working on. So I, for some reason, have 2 copies of this book. And it is such a charming book, How to Paint People Quickly. There are some nice ideas about how to represent a person within a painting in a way that feels a little bit more organic to the painting, because it's not, a portrait of the person. It's more of a whole scene. And sometimes when you're painting, there might be a little bit of a temptation to kind of, you're painting a scene and then you're painting a person, but in truth, it's all just brushes of paint. And so the more you can integrate the people into the scene, the better. So I worked on that today. This is, okay, so anyway, back to this. So I'd like to give away a copy of this book. So to enter into a drawing to receive a copy of this book, would you please in the comments just say, I would like to enter into the drawing to win the book. So let's get into the painting, and I'll tell you some thoughts that I was having about the composition and then integrating people into a cityscape. One thing Hazel Sohn says, she's the author of Learn to Paint People Quickly, is that because we are so familiar with the human figure that even the smallest suggestion in marks that indicate a figure, our mind can just kind of complete the idea. And I don't know about you, but when I look at this, I see a woman walking away into the distance. It's just so interesting to me how the mind can sort of complete the thought in a sketch. So I'm going to keep that in mind when I do my painting today. But first, as always, I'm going to do a value sketch, otherwise known as a no-tan sketch, to just get a sense if the photo that I'm working with will work in terms of its composition. I didn't love it, so I decided to kind of do a little mind exercise where I would follow along with the base of my pen to kind of get a sense of why I like the composition of this photograph in the first place. I like it because there are a lot of different avenues you can go throughout this image to stay within the picture and basically take your eyes for a little walk around the picture. And there are a total of 4 figures in this picture. There's that person to the bottom right, and then there are 3 people right there in the middle. And so they are a bit of the main character, I guess. But I want to make a painting that fully integrates them so that it's just an entire composition. So with looking at that in mind, I decided, what if I just take a Posca pen and look at the photograph and decide what is going on with my no-tan sketch that is keeping the eye inside the image, and which parts are causing me problems. Like, are there any possibilities that the eye is going to want to escape? And so the main culprit that I found in this image is this top right hand corner where the white is, because I feel like it needs to be contained. And so even though there are these lights in the photograph up on the upper right, I might want to rethink that. So I decided to do a sketch in yellow. I really want this whole vibe to be very warm, and so I thought I would try to make the the underpainting be yellow and work from there. For my darks, I decide I'm going to use a combination of Dioxazine Purple and Phthalo Turquoise so that I can really, really be almost black for part of it, because it's a nocturne, it's an evening scene, it's a nighttime scene. And so I will go ahead and block in a lot of dark areas. And I sort of held back because I feel like normally I would be more blocky than I am here. But for some reason, I felt like I wanted to have just the very, very darkest darks be that. And then I'm starting to kind of lighten up a little bit in some places. I guess I wanted to have a little bit of variety with my darks and not get too heavy-handed with them. And I guess that was successful. I'm not finished with the painting, so I guess I'll find out later how that went. But as you can see, I'm working on the legs of those people, but it almost doesn't even feel like it, does it? It's just kind of part of the whole thing. And another thing that I noticed that I'm doing to kind of integrate these bodies into this space is I kind of sneak up on them and work on them in relation to their surroundings. And so right now I'm working on the surroundings of the person in the bottom right hand area, and he is part of, the window behind him, and some of the blacks just integrate right into his pants, and his head actually is going to wind up merging with the vertical wall, the dark part of that. So I'm hoping that in a way, like when you first look at the painting when it's finished, that you just see an overall picture and then you realize that there are people in the picture. Because I was really focused on the idea of integrating the figures into the composition and working on a strong composition, I actually skipped my favorite step, and really a very important step, which is I like to begin with a color study before I even start the painting. And especially since I like to make bold moves with color, it does help me to plan it out ahead of time. And plus, it's really fun. So I believe this painting is going to require me to take the paint colors that I have and work out some color things on a separate canvas or piece of paper before finishing this painting, so that I can feel like the colors are interacting in the way that I want them to. Right now, at this moment, it's not too, there's not too much of a war between the colors, but when I start bringing in this part with the blue light coming out of the door, which is honestly one of my favorite parts about the whole image, and additionally there is a turquoise kind of sign above that, I kind of just wanted to have that color, and I'm not certain if this is a good idea or not. So I need to think about that a little bit more. But this video today will not be showing the ending of this painting because I have not finished the painting. But if you would like to see how I resolve the painting, then let me know in the comments, and I'll show you what I do next. Yeah, and if you have any other questions that you want to ask me, feel free to ask, and I will answer however I can. And I'll also list in the description the names of the paint colors that I'm using today, in case you're curious about that. Thank you so much for watching today, and let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next video.